Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on all the superhero content we got for you. Today, we're diving into something really cool. Characters that were redesigned in the comics to look more like their movie counterparts. Let's see how these iconic heroes and villains got their cinematic makeovers. Stick around, because things are about to get interesting. Shuri has evolved into Wakanda's leading technology expert in recent years, but her journey hasn't always been this way. She started as a power-hungry sister, and at one point, her character was steeped in mysticism. However, recent comic storylines have taken her in a new direction, one that has reshaped her identity in some surprising ways. These changes have made her a more complex and compelling figure in the Marvel Universe. This shift in Shuri's character also brings her closer to the on-screen portrayal by Letitia Wright. It's not just about the clothes and accessories. Shuri now shares several traits with the actress, from her signature braids to some facial features, creating a strong visual connection between the two versions of the character. This redesign helps to solidify the link between the comics and the films, making her more recognizable to fans across both mediums. Hawkeye, introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2011 with Thor, Clint Barton, also known as Hawkeye, drew inspiration from the Ultimate Universe for the design of his costume. The iconic purple suit and mask were swapped for a darker, more tactical look, with minimal color details and his face fully exposed, marking a significant departure from his earlier comic book appearance. This cinematic style quickly made its way into the comics by 2013, bringing a fresh and modern take to the character. The streamlined, practical costume became a defining feature of Hawkeye, aligning the comic version more closely with the on-screen portrayal. This shift not only made him more recognizable to MCU fans, but also gave him a more grounded and relatable look. Harley Quinn, the crime clown, is one of the most interesting cases on this list. Over the years, she has sported a wide range of looks, from her iconic red and black bodysuit to various questionable outfits like a nurse costume, among others. Each transformation added a unique layer to her identity, reflecting her unpredictable nature. In 2015, it seemed that Harley had finally settled on her definitive look, with her signature white skin, black and red hair, shorts, and corset. However, in 2016, Margot Robbie's portrayal of the character in Suicide Squad brought a new visual identity to life. Elements of her cinematic appearance, such as the blonde hair with colored tips and the red jacket, began to be incorporated into the comics. Today, it's nearly impossible to see a Harley Quinn comic cover or a promotional image from the animated series without thinking of Margot Robbie's version of the character. Nick Fury. It would be a crime to think of this list and not mention Nick Fury. However, the truth is that the actor didn't inspire the character's visual change in the way we might expect. In fact, Samuel L. Jackson was the inspiration for the character, but not in the traditional sense. In 2001, Brian Michael Bendis and Mike Allred introduced the Ultimate Universe version of Nick Fury, a black, bald man with an eye patch, whose design was directly influenced by Jackson. 7 years later, in Iron Man, that dream became a reality. In a post-credit scene, Jackson brought Fury to life, and ever since, his portrayal has become the most recognizable version of the character. Even today, it's hard to imagine Nick Fury without thinking of Samuel L. Jackson's iconic look, which continues to shape how the character is depicted in both films and comics. Scarlet Witch's classic comic look, with a red and pink bodysuit, cape, gloves, tiara, and boots, has often been seen as a bit too much. So, when the character was adapted for the big screen, her costume underwent some changes. From a jacket and dress to a Halloween-style outfit, Wanda's cinematic version offered subtle hints of an updated style, moving away from the more elaborate original design. It wasn't until WandaVision that a more streamlined version of her costume was introduced, simplifying the look while maintaining her iconic elements. Soon after, the comics followed suit, adopting this updated style by removing certain pieces and opting for a more refined and chic approach, making the character's design more modern and visually appealing while staying true to her essence. Starfire. While it may seem like a bit of a cheat, Starfire, the Princess Coriandar, has undergone a wide variety of looks over the years. From being portrayed as the mother of a goth teenager to a skinny girl, and even a character that was initially sexualized, her visual evolution reflects the shifting perspectives within the comic world, with an increasing focus on diversity. In Nightwing number 95, for instance, artist Bruno Redondo introduced a version of Starfire that closely resembles her portrayal in the Titans TV series. In this adaptation, Starfire is played by Anna Diop, who faced harsh criticism from some fans when she was cast in the role. Although Starfire's DC debut came with a black aesthetic, over the years, the character has embraced different forms of beauty. This new phase seems to return to her original look, incorporating Afro-descendant features, and it's hard not to connect this change to Diop's portrayal of the character. Bullseye, the Daredevil villain, is another unique case on this list. While he's often associated with his black and white costume, the character occasionally still dons this outfit, which is considered his default look. However, in 2003, Bullseye was portrayed by Colin Farrell in the Daredevil film. Though the movie wasn't well received by audiences or critics, it introduced a fresh new look for the villain. In 2010, this adult style, characterized by leather and a darker tone, was resurrected by Jason Aaron and Steve Dillon in Punisher Max. In this series, Bullseye takes on the distinct target mark on his forehead, officially merging his comic appearance with the version seen in the film. This redesign not only gave him a more menacing presence, but also made him a more memorable and imposing figure in the comics. Batwoman. Ryan Wilder may have had a brief run in the TV series, but the character portrayed by Javicia Leslie made her way into the comics. In Batgirl number 50, we were introduced to the black version of Batwoman. While this isn't exactly an update to a comic book design due to an adaptation, as Kate Kane still remains active as Batwoman, it is a direct addition influenced by the TV series. Ryan Wilder is set to become a permanent fixture in the DC universe, having crossed paths with the Batgirls and Batman. Urban Legends number 5, and appearing in various promotional materials. Her presence in the comics adds a fresh layer to the Bat family, blending her unique identity with the established world of Gotham. Blade. Black sunglasses and leather attire may seem like they were tailor-made for the vampire hunter Blade, but the story isn't exactly that simple. Like many characters, Blade's look evolved with the times. He started with a more flamboyant style, sporting an exaggerated hairstyle before eventually settling into his current, more streamlined appearance. However, in 1998, when Wesley Snipes brought the character to life on the big screen, everything changed. The aesthetic of Blade became heavily influenced by Snipes himself, from his bone structure to the way the sunglasses fit his face. It's safe to say that Blade's visual identity became molded in the image of Wesley Snipes rather than the other way around. This cinematic adaptation solidified Blade's look, making it inseparable from Snipes' iconic portrayal. Valkyrie. The Asgardian universe in the comics has always been depicted as white and formal, both in the films and the original graphic novels. However, with Taika Waititi's Thor: Ragnarok, things took a dramatic turn, and one of the key changes was the redesign of Valkyrie. The film brought a refreshing new look to the character, marking a significant departure from her classic portrayal. In the comics, multiple Valkyries have existed, but only one held a prominent position. This original version had little in common with the cinematic portrayal of Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson. Eventually, Marvel embraced the film version and incorporated it into the comics, placing her alongside characters like Blink, Iron Lad, Wolverine, and Kamala Khan, further solidifying her place in the modern Marvel universe. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Your support means a lot. See you in the next video.